Anyanati mirandasya gyananjana shalakaya chakshurun militam yena tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Jai Gurudev, good morning everyone. I will try to speak slowly and pronouncing every word properly, because I don't know if you were in the presentation of the Southern 8 Seats project. When it finished, I went up and I saw Guruji in his house. And when I came in, he started doing like and he said, "This is you speaking in public. So if you see me that I'm going to rush, please just stop. Thanks." So today we have the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, chapter 47, verse 27. Sarvatma vavodikirto vavatina madokshashim virahena mahavagam mahamenu grahakitaham. It means, you have rightfully claimed the privilege of unalloyed, it means pure, love for the transcendental Lord, O most glorious Gopis. Indeed, by exhibiting your love for Krishna in separation from him, you have shown me great mercy. This verse is Uddhava, when he goes to Vrindavan, after Krishna kills Kamsa. He sends Uddhava to Vrindavan to speak with the Gopis and give their instructions. What happened when he came? Actually, he's supposed to become the guru of the Gopis. And the Gopis goes into a rage. They don't want to know anything about this guy that comes, and now he wants to steal the memories that they have of Krishna. In Vrindavan, they were absorbed in the memories, in the pastimes that they were having with the Lord in the past. And now this guy comes and he starts to preaching us. So they go into a rage and he starts to like insulting him and like, "What do you want? You want to take Krishna even more far away from us?" So Sage Uddhava realized that actually he has nothing to give them. They are fully absorbed by Krishna. And so even there is an experience that one of the Gopis touch him, and the vibration of the Gopi make him experience the love of God. So he says, "What I'm going to teach to these Gopis? They are fully absorbed in loves God." So for me this verse is very nice because it makes me question to myself, how these Gopis develop this love for him. I'm more like the Prabhus, I think, is a mainly problem, but I was very attracted for Guruji for his miracles when I came. You know, materializations, stories, divinity, like his divine aspect was motivating me to follow on the path. But actually, because it's something for the mind, the miracles that he do, with time, these miracles just lose the effect. And all that attraction that generates, it falls down with time. The mind gets used to it. So among all the experiences that Guruji gave me, one very strong one was when Guruji was in India and I was in my room. I tell this story already. And I was remembering a very sad moment of my past, of a past relationship. And was the moment that I think my heart crashed. So I was in the altar, next to the altar in my room, and I say loudly to the altar, "Krishna, were you there with me at that moment?" 3 seconds later, Guruji sent me a telegram message with a heart. So he don't send messages so often. I would say like once every 4 months or something. And when I made this prayer or this talk to my deities in the altar, Guruji is answering that. So for me, it was quite shocking. Of course, I bowed down immediately to the altar and said, "Guruji, you're amazing." But then after a time, the mind got used to this experience, like something normal and natural. And this catchy essence of Krishna lose the grip on me because it's something for the mind, it's just a miracle. And so I was wondering, the Gopis, they have all of these pastimes with the Lord. Even as we can see in all the Lilas, Krishna is quite playful with them. And he's messing around. He stole their clothes when they're in the Yamuna River, or with the villagers, he broke all the ghee pots and the milk. He steals some stuff. Like, he was all the time playing and teasing the people to drive the attention to him. And in our life as devotees of Guru and God, I realized that somehow we go through same process. Like, it doesn't look like Guruji is focusing giving us more miracles, even if he performing it because the mind needs it. It really looks like through this playful act that he's doing, he's catching our heart every time more and more. And I don't know if you remember during the Guruji Jayanti, were these memes from the little devotee. She's drawing like a cartoon with how is the life of a devotee. And has, for example, this one that is drawing her as a small devotee in her country, 1,000 kilometers away from SPN, and preparing all for coming to see Guruji. And then she comes, and Guruji, the first question that asks her is like, "What's your name?" And she's completely crushed, crying in the floor, like, he don't remember me. And actually, yeah, I think Guruji asked me like at least 20 or 30 times what's my name, even now. But at the beginning, even more, and at the beginning was really painful, because using his unconditional love, and he don't even remember my name. So I was very, very attached to what externally love should be. Also, where are you from? All the time, are you from Brazil? As you know, I'm from Argentina, and that's kind of an insult. Or are you from Italy? Or are you from Russia? I don't know, whatever country, just not Argentina. So also was like, he don't even remember where I'm from. He loves me. Normally I'm used to relationships where if you care, like if you love someone, you know even his favorite color, and of course you remember the name, at least. So this outside reality for me was very important. I was attached to the way he shows the love. Or, you are waiting in the queue for darshan and you are thinking what I'm going to speak with him, what is he going to say, what I'm going to ask. And then I came, this was one of those, but I have very bad ones. And I do a step because he's blessing another person. So I do a step forward. I can say, "Why are you so close? Go away." And so I step like 3-4 steps behind, waiting for my darshan. And so all the time, he externally showing me that he don't care about me. Externally, I mean, because of course, if we meditate half a second of what he's doing, we should like go to the floor, be grateful, and cry. If we see the whole situation of the world today, where is the mind of the people today? Speak with anyone that doesn't live in the ashram and is not a devotee. I still have a WhatsApp group with my friends from high school and university. And I can follow the conversations. What is it about? I mean, I want to die because I was in that reality before. All about politicians, all about problems, all about negativity. And I was absorbed in that all my past until I met Guruji. And I can see today, I see that and say, this is so boring. And then I have the other with bhajans or devotees or stories with Guruji. And that brings me joy and that brings me happiness. So in this external reality that Krishna or Guru or God is showing that he don't care, actually, is much more behind. He's taking care. He just doesn't show in a way that we can detach from this external showing of love and be sure that actually God and Guru loves us more than anything. But at least what I see in my experience with Guruji, he's all the time trying to detach me from the idea of the external love. And every time I feel like, oh, I love Guruji or I love God, a test comes. So I was in Argentina and I was telling them stories of Guruji, miracles, how lovely he was to my friends in a table really late in the night. It was already like 1 a.m. So they took me home by car, and I stepped out of the car, and immediately I went to my pocket, and I realized that I don't have the key of the house. I'm staying on my auntie's house, but he's not there. She's not there. So I tried to run behind the car, but the car follows and speeds, so I couldn't catch them. I go to my phone, I take my phone, and in that moment the phone goes off. So 1 a.m. in the morning in Buenos Aires, a big city, everything is far away from everything. And so 5 minutes before I was speaking about the glories of God and Krishna, and I was in the Vav, and yes, he loves us. And 5 minutes later I said like, man, he hates me. I don't have a phone, I don't have a key, I'm outside of the door, I knock on the neighbor is not in the house, so I could try to jump or something. And I start blaming, as God really exists? If God exists, why this happened to me? This is terrible, like you are in the middle of a city, and I even try, I can sleep here in the door, but you know, police will come, then I think even I lost my wallet. So I think God, of course, doesn't exist. Why he will do something like this? If he exists, he's a bad guy, for sure. So this kind of thought comes. I mean, sorry, but I have a mind. And then in the end, I said, like, okay, I cannot do anything. And then I remember one cousin of me is living like 5 kilometers away from there, but 1 a.m. in the morning. So I started running to his house. I found him awake. He gave me an extra key that he has with him. So in the end, everything goes well. But it showed me with such a little things, I can be challenged in my faith, in my belief that he loves me. It was a funny story, actually. We were here in the old temple, and was full of people in the ashram. We were celebrating, I don't remember which celebration, like 2 years ago. And Guruji is going to give satsang. So it's full house. So he comes to the light hall, and then full pack the light hall. He goes inside of the temple, the old temple, and people run behind him. Just like he went inside, and people just start running like crazy behind him. He stays 2 seconds, he waits until the old temple is full. He comes out and tells me, close the door. Yeah. Some of you remember, I think. You were inside or outside? Outside, good. And I said, what? Close the door, don't let anyone out. So I close the door, Guruji leaves, and he starts speaking with people in the lobby. So I can hear voices inside, they start to become impatient. They start knocking like, hey, can we go out? Like, where is Guruji? So he stayed there, he speak with people, he met old friends. Then he came back, and he said, okay, satsang, in the light hall. So the people inside the temple, they heard that, and they start to knock, like, please let us out, we want to hear the satsang. And they become like more and more, let us out. And Guruji looked at me like, don't open the door. And he said, cut them the sound. So the people inside, they have sound, a live sound. Now they don't even can listen to the satsang. Luckily, it was a mistake in the sound with the sound guys, so they didn't cut the sound. But they heard that Guruji was saying, like, cut them the sound, so they become quiet inside. So after the satsang finished, Guruji leaves, and he said, don't open yet. So wait a few minutes. So I stayed there. And when I opened the door later, the first 3 Matajis that they were coming out, they said, he hates us. And was such a relatable feeling, you know, when Guruji is doing this kind of thing. And so you say, yeah, he hates me. But again, it's this outside reality, because they keep coming. They are fully in love with him. They bring him presents every time. So how he plays all the time is to move us away from this conception of what love is, because we're still here. And at least for myself, every time I love him more, even if he do these kind of things. And also when these feelings arise of he don't care, he's also, by his grace, cleaning it. And then it's like this trust is every time more settled, because he starts showing actually that he's caring and caring all the time. Yeah, one time Guruji said that God's love is not something that you find in a vitrine, in a kiosk, in a main avenue. you need to try to find it. It's hidden. Like in India, in the core of the temple, you find the deity. You need to go through all the labyrinth before you find the darshan. So he's also hiding that love. So, just as a conclusion, God through life and through Guru will make us develop the required faith to not to be attached to this external reality. He's all the time with us. And he loves us, doesn't matter what. And our whole job, our spiritual path, is actually about realizing that. For realizing this God, that God gives you signal, and for realizing that, God actually is giving us opposite signals. So I hope that we can be beyond this yoga maya and don't be bewildered by Guruji's Lila, and remember all the time that he's here taking care and loving us all the time. Jai Gurudev.